quads open up, hip flexors open up, squeeze the glutes, tuck the butt underneath, drive that hip forward. All right, guys, next up, as promised, we're doing something dynamic for the hips. All right, so we're gonna do bent knee wipers. So flat on our back, make sure the lower back is flat. Arms out in a T position, try to keep those knees together. Just gonna drop down to one side. Try to hover so you don't let those knees come all the way down. Getting some more core work out of it this way, but really open up the lower back and core. Cool, we're gonna do this for a minute. Take your time with it. Try to smash your hands into the floor. Keep your shoulder blades touching the floor. Okay. All right, guys, a little bit of this, a little bit of that this week. What's up?
I said I don't know if I'd call it fun, but.
Okay, warm up. Doing 6 total sets. First 3 are going to be slow and controlled, like a 10-second rep on some of the exercises, because some of them don't fit into that concept. And then the last 3 rounds, the second half of the 3 rounds, or the 6 rounds, is going to be double pump, like a 1.5 rep style. Obviously, we're looking to create more tension on certain parts of our body during hypertrophy week. Today is going to be lower body dominant. So your 3 exercises are walkout, simple stuff, right? You can fold over at the waist, get that hamstring stretch, and then crawl yourself out to a high plank position, right? So the slow version would just be literally just folding over at your waist, trying to really open up the hamstrings, and then take your time with walking out, right? And then slow on the way up. Think about pushing those hips back. Think about a hip hinge, almost like a deadlift for your first half. In the second half, think about double pumping. So what does that mean? It's almost like just folding over at your waist, coming back up, and then going into a full rep. Okay, so you're just getting that extra hip hinge out of it, opening up the hamstrings a little bit, and then going into a full rep. Does that make sense? So 1.5 reps there. Knee ups, you guys are gonna put a band on the rig across so it's about knee height. Guys at home, if you have somewhere you can put a band and wrap it on 2 ends of something that's not going to be moving anywhere, to give you a little bit of a guide. You want something about your knee height, so you can pick your knee up and put it over, pick your knee up and put it over. The whole idea is to get the hip flexor fired up, right? And a little bit of core. But if you don't have that, you can simply just stand there, lift up, and step over, right? Really trying to get this motion. Hip flexion, okay? Same thing. The slow version is just doing it slower, right? Taking your time with it. And then the double pump would just be up, and then up and around. Up, and then up and around. Okay? Last up, glute bridge. Simple. Right, we know the glute bridge. A slow version would just be tucking the butt underneath and then slowly pressing your feet into the floor all the way up till you get to that full extension, and then slowly on the way down, keeping the core nice and tight. Double pump would just be half up, down, and then all the way up, squeezing the glutes. So it's just getting a little bit more work each rep, which is going to add up to more tension on the legs, obviously. That was a good one. All right, 3 exercises for your work. Your finisher is going to be kind of interwoven in here. Let me explain. We're looking for about 35 to 40 minutes of work. It's going to end up being perfect timing with the hour. So you're doing 3 exercises consecutively, and then for 1 round of that, and then you're going to do a wall sit and 30 each mountain climbers. And then you're going to do 2 rounds of the work, and then you're going to head back into the wall sit and mountain climber. And then you're gonna do 3 rounds and then head back into the wall sit and mountain climbers. Does that make sense? Cool. Now, it's not conditioning week, it's hypertrophy week. So it's also not power week. So we're not taking as much rest as we took last week. And we're not taking as much rest, or we're having more rest than we're gonna have for next week. So in between each exercise, when I say consecutively, what happened?
Getting us ready for next week.
I'm just preparing you. You guys know the deal, right? No surprises here. You're doing them consecutively, but you can take a few seconds in between to let your legs shake off. It's gonna be a lot of lower body work, right? It's leg day, pretty much, right? So when I say consecutively, I don't want you to feel like you have to rush through it. Move through it, but make sure you take your rest. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Because if you make it a cardio exercise, you're not going to be able to use heavier weights because it becomes an oxygen dependent exercise and not a muscular dependent exercise. Here we go. First exercise, front squats. You guys here could use the barbell. People at home, dumbbells, kettlebell, whatever you got. Even you guys, if you're comfortable with dumbbells or kettlebells, either one. We're doing 8 to 6. What does that mean? PO. Give it to me. Yes, girl. You've been doing your homework. Progressive overload. If you have the ability at home to do that, start lighter and work your way heavier. I'm not saying start light. I'm saying start lighter. Next up, guys at home, if you don't have a step up, maybe we start with the people at home. I'm so used to that. Let me start with the exercise and then we'll modify it. Okay? First up, step ups. Step up, boom. Okay? Come right back down with the same leg you came up with. Boom, boom. And then up with the right. We've done them differently before, but now I want you guys to get full range of motion starting with that hip flexion action. Okay? We've done them in the past where you kind of leave one up here, right? This time I want you to come both feet off and step up every time. We'll see how we're doing on time once we get moving. I may adjust that toward the end, but that's how you're going to do that to start with. Next up, split squat, lunge. So we're taking a split stance this way. Front foot needs to stay on the ground. Heel down the whole time. Drop that back knee to the ground. If you have the range of motion, press through the center of your front foot to the standing position. You're not going to be able to come all the way back. In fact, I'm going to suggest leaning forward a little bit over that front leg. Not rolling forward, just kind of push your torso toward that front leg. So while that pressure's on your front quad, do your non-dominant side first, and then switch to your dominant leg. We're doing 8 each. And then the second 2, wall sit, the finisher-ish exercises, wall sit, simple stuff. Make sure that lower back is flat. And then mountain climbers. Try to keep those knees close to the chest and core. Cool?
And what was the alternate for the step up?
Alternating. Forward lunge. Sorry.
Forward lunge.
Forward lunge. So here, easy on the knee. Press back. Easy
What's
on the
the
knee.
count on that? Number of reps?
8 each, brother.